Hello, it's episode 7. We're still in First Nephi, our Second Nephi, chapter 1, and today's reading was from 11, verses 11 till 20. And this one, you can really hear the anxiety that Lehi had for his family. As I think Nephi describes later, it's the feelings of a tender parent. And you can really hear it in here as he talks to Laman and Lemuel mostly. He says, "Oh, that ye would awake from a deep sleep, yea, even the deep sleep of hell, and shake off the awful chains by which..." I had to talk to my kids this way sometimes, just for the fun of it, just to see what it sounds like. "Shake off the awful chains by which ye are bound, which are the chains which bind the children of men, that ye are carried away captive down to the gulf of misery and woe." Yeah, I kind of like that. I'll start putting that in my regular thing when I need to wake you guys up for something. We're going to be late for church, so wake up and shake off the awful chains by which ye are bound. Yeah, I like that. And he goes on, "Hear the words of a trembling parent, whose limbs must soon lay down to the cold, silent grave, from whence no traveler can return." I find it very poetic, the way that he speaks here. It's really good. And interesting enough is, "from whence no traveler can return" is almost the same thing used by Shakespeare in the soliloquy of Hamlet. But of course, Lehi used it first. I believe, from what I've seen, that is a regular saying. It's not something that Lehi made up, or Shakespeare made up. It's just something been said through the generations, that no, death is a place that you go whence no traveler can return. I believe Job used it. It's similar. That he says he was going to go where he could not return. But I love the fact that he returns back to talking about the Savior, and in verse 15, "Behold, the Lord hath redeemed my soul from hell, and behold his glory, and I am encircled eternally in the arms of his love." Isn't that beautiful language that he's using there? But then he talks again to his children, and says to he would that they observe the statutes and judgments of the Lord. But I kind of wanted to go to verse 20, which he says, "He hath said, Inasmuch as ye shall keep my commandments, ye shall prosper in the land. But inasmuch as ye will not keep my commandments, ye shall not be cut off from my presence." Now, I probably would have mentioned this before, had I started from the beginning of the Book of Mormon, but that links. I every time this promise comes up, I've linked it to 1 Nephi 2:20, which is where Nephi goes and prays about what his father is seen in vision, and the first time, before they got the plates, or before the tree of life or anything like that, when he had seen the destruction of Jerusalem. And Nephi gets this promise, pretty much word for word. And so Lehi is or quoting his son there, and it's a promise that keeps coming up in the Book of Mormon. You'll see it time and time again. I have linked back to 1 Nephi 2:20 28 times. So at least 28 times. I can't say I've got them all, but at least 28 times it's mentioned throughout the Book of Mormon that inasmuch as we keep the commandments, we shall prosper in the land. And if not, then you're cut off from the presence of the Lord. So the important thing is keep the commandments. As simple as that. We keep the commandments. That's about all that I wanted to mention. Is here he really, his last thing he wants his family to do, or last thing that he tells his family before he dies, basically, in this sense, is keep the commandments. His older sons, he just wants to keep the commandments. And that's what we'll finish on. Have a good day.